basin is the world's second largest tropical.
Okay, hello people. Good morning, how are you? Or afternoon, wherever you are. Depending on where you are. Let me check if I've got sound. I have. It's Eddie. G'day, mate. It's Eddie the streamer. Australia. Cairns, Queensland, Australia. Just gonna share this out. Gotta share it, eh? Alright. Let's do the plug thing, get it in there. Don't require them anymore. Okay, we don't require that anymore. Alright, hello person watching, or maybe that was just one of you. Let's see what we can find on the internet today.
Forest, it is twice the size of Arizona. It is home to gorillas, elephants, buffaloes, and other endangered species.
And I start reading about Mokele Mbembe. I don't know if that's how you say it, but it's scientists, National Geographic people have spotted this fucking brontosaur-like thing in the Congo. The Congo rainforest is one of the last truly wild places on Earth, with dense jungles and vast river systems home to unique wildlife, including rare and undiscovered species. This uncharted wilderness has long been a source of fascination and fear, with tales of hidden wonders and lurking dangers.
The Congo Basin is the green heart of Africa. It covers over 500 million acres across 6 different countries, and tens of thousands of species call this place home.
Deep within these untamed forests, secrets lie buried beneath the thick canopy. The uncharted jungles have whispered of ancient creatures, strange phenomena, and lost civilizations. Among these legends is the story of Mokele Mbembe, a creature said to resemble a dinosaur, stirring imaginations and fueling expeditions for decades. What could this terrifying discovery mean for our understanding of the natural world? Join us on an incredible journey as we uncover why the Congo rainforest shut down after a terrifying discovery. Background of dinosaurs and extinction. Legends and mysteries have unfolded in the depths of the Congo rainforest over many years. One fascinating story that captures people's imagination is the Mokele Mbembe mystery, which revolves around a creature believed to be a living dinosaur. But what if this new finding goes beyond being just an urban legend? Get ready for an exciting journey into unexplored territory, where intrigue and adventure will intertwine in ways you've never thought possible. First, let's discuss the fascinating world of dinosaurs and explore the historical context surrounding their extinction from Earth millions of years ago. It's a subject that has captivated scientists and enthusiasts alike for decades. The dinosaurs were alive during the Mesozoic era, which started about 200 million of biodiversity, housing countless species that call it home. One intriguing theory suggests that the Mokele Mbembe may have successfully adapted to the vast expanse of the Congo rainforest. Immersed within the rainforest's dense and secluded nature,
Let's see what these are.
Welcome to Classified Captures. Steve here, and today we've got a wild lineup of clips ranging from UFO sightings to clips of cryptids we never even thought could exist. So don't you go changing. Let's get on with the video.
I don't know whether you believe in angels or not. They are scriptural.
Kicking things off with a strange one. Today's first clip comes from Lane, a drone operator from Louisiana, who had an unexpected encounter while flying his drone in a field.
This is the drone photo. There's nothing around him.
He'd sent his drone airborne, capturing photos of the area. However, one particular photo revealed something strange that Lane could not explain.
There's nothing anywhere around him. It's just a very flat field.
In the capture, Lane is seen standing in the field, but behind him, there appears to be a massive figure. He was, however, unable to decode or identify the figure, so he sent the photo to a professional analyst for further examination. After analysis, it was determined that whatever was in the photograph measured an astonishing 8 feet tall and 4 feet wide. What's even more unsettling is that Lane didn't see or sense anything unusual when the photograph was taken. He was completely unaware of this towering figure behind him. Despite the analysis, the exact nature of this entity remains a mystery. Naturally, when this got to the paranormal community, it became speculation and theory. Some thought it was a cryptid, aka Bigfoot, whereas others thought it had to be an otherworldly being. When this got back to my team, Aaron, our conspiracy theorist, felt like it had to be Bigfoot, but many in the team sided with him. With the exception of Julius, of course. He shook his head several times and told us it definitely had to be a tree. In order to not escalate the debates in the team office, I didn't offer my explanation, but you guys can offer yours. What do you think we're dealing with?
Don't know, I don't really see anything.
Next, we've got an exciting innovation update. Scientists in Japan have developed tiny robots the size of ants. Made from iron shavings, these remarkable creations operate within a rotated magnetic field. What's even more impressive is that these ant bots can be controlled remotely and tasked with various jobs. With further advancements, they're expected to perform groundbreaking tasks, such as clearing blocked arteries, potentially eliminating the need for invasive surgeries. This could revolutionize medicine and pave the way for countless other applications. Just think about
Oh,
it.
no,
Being
box
able
has
to
been
avoid
around
major surgery just because of this innovation. Oh, this is a future I want and certainly can't wait for it. Julius, on the other hand, is a bit worried. He claims that evil men could utilize these things for evil purposes, including assassinations. Scary thought, I know, but ignore Julius. Hopefully it won't come to that. Moving on, we visit a clip allegedly from a concert that shows something rather disturbing. Did you catch that? Among the crowds, there's an individual standing whose body was made completely of light. That's not normal, right? When I first saw it, my
How can
inner
you tell
Sherlock
what was
Holmes
wearing?
wanted to believe it was one of the lights hitting the participants of the concert, but after looking at it multiple times, it looks like the light was originating from the individual. He wasn't reflecting on it. Many in the paranormal community saw this and concluded it was an angel. Some even mentioned that the energy from the concerts sometimes creates an energy field that allows paranormal beings to manifest. A few decades ago, I would have thought that was just ludicrous, but today, however, thinks it's not impossible.
Could be someone astro traveling.
You've seen the clip. What do you also think? Are we dealing with the supernatural,
Could
or
be
is there
somebody
a more
just died.
supernatural reason for what we are seeing? Let's hear your thoughts in the comment section. While you do that, let's take a trip back to 2009. A young girl and a family were enjoying their vacation in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, staying at a cozy hotel by the beach. One sunny afternoon, she stepped down on their balcony to film the breathtaking view. But what started as a simple video to capture the serene beauty of the coastline turned into something far more chilling. As she panned the camera across the beach and surrounding scenery, everything seemed normal until she turned the camera back toward the hotel. For a brief moment, the lens caught a glimpse of their sliding glass door, and that's when it appeared. Behind the glass, a strange face was peering from inside the hotel room. The face was wrinkled with a prominent oversized nose, staring silently.
We don't do old videos we've already seen.
Welcome to Classified.
That one's clickbait. Says what just happened in Australia, top scientist. And then it just talks about the normal Australian things and normal stuff. There isn't really anything. Okay, the question is, have we seen anything?
I saw the laser. Really human. No.
This next encounter proves to be a truly terrifying experience for the security guard. A creeping sense of unease washes over him as he makes his way through the building, the air charged with an unnatural static that buzzes in his ears. The closer he gets to the source of this unsettling energy, the harder it becomes for his mind to grasp what he's sensing. He swings his flashlight around, and there, standing in his path, is a dark figure, its presence both ominous and unknown. No one can explain what or who it was. Miraculously, he escapes unharmed, but the chilling encounter leaves him shaken.
Wow, that's so clear. How the hell do you see anything there?
A Saudi Arabian police officer, on his regular night shift,
How do you see anything there? It's like focused right in, it's so blurry.
encountered something so unsettling that it would remain etched in his mind for the rest of his life. Patrolling the area, he noticed a figure in white, its black hair hanging limp, swaying with each eerie step. The shape was human, but there was something disturbingly unnatural about it. Some would later claim it was a witch. Others whispered it was a skinwalker. Whatever it wasn't something that belonged in the world of the...
Okay, it's got a walking stick. It's walking like an old person. Your guess is as good as mine, I guess.
The figure moved toward the officer with deliberate intent, forcing him to break into a panicked run. As he fled, the figure followed, its pace never faltering, its presence relentless. The security guard has always been cautious around the homeless man, but tonight he decides to hear him out. The man seems sincere, offering an apology. He admits to being on psychotropic medication for schizophrenia, explaining that he hears voices and sees things that aren't real. The man,
Schizophrenia is such a bad thing. You've got to find a cure for it. I mean, it is really bad.
expresses regret for his past actions, and the guard, exhausted from a long shift, lets his guard down, thinking he can finally reason with him.
Oh, look out, look out.
Nah. 1 minute they're normal every day, no worries. Really cool. Next minute they're like the demon possessed freaking kill you in a second type thing.
I'm a shooter, sir. I remember you. You're the security guard of the building, aren't you? Mm-hmm. I've been having problems with you. Mm-hmm. You know what, man? I want to apologize to you, man. Okay. I hadn't had my medicine, man. I want psychotropic medicine. You know what's schizophrenia is, right? I report, I see things that they say that's not really there. And I just want to apologize to you because I was.
The man reaches out for a handshake, and the guard hesitates but complies, believing the situation is diffused. However, he quickly realizes he was wrong. The man's demeanor shifts abruptly as he begins.
Yeah, the man is apologizing, shaking his hands, and being sorry. The demon influence, the disease, whatever you like to call it, is what makes him punch the guy. So, yeah.
Threats and accusations, his anger spiraling out of control. The guard, now on high alert, scrambles to defuse the escalating situation, knowing the encounter has taken a dangerous turn.
12 hours all day. Can you just shake my hand? Of course, that's all I've been wanting was an apology from you. That's it. That's all. I'm just trying to do my job, sir. But you know what, sir? I was thinking about something. Hey, go. Come on. Hey, you want to? Hey, go. I hate your ass. You know you were trying to do my.
See, that's the disease. That's not the person. That's not him at all. That's the disease.
During a routine patrol at the hospital, a security guard stumbled upon an eerie sight that would haunt him for weeks to come. What seemed like a typical night would soon take a bizarre and unsettling turn.
Let me guess, wheelchair move? Or maybe the thing's back there?
While walking down a quiet hallway, the guard noticed an unattended wheelchair, oddly positioned near the rooms. It wasn't out of the ordinary to see wheelchairs left around, but this one caught his attention for reasons he couldn't immediately explain. He stopped to investigate. His curiosity piqued. As if sensing his presence, the wheelchair began to turn on its own, slowly and deliberately, as if an invisible force was guiding it. The sudden movement made it seem as though the chair was intentionally facing him. The guard's heart must have raced, and without hesitation he fled the scene, his instincts screaming that something was wrong.
No.
The reporter didn't anticipate his day taking such a wild turn. He spots a police officer struggling to restrain a woman in the parking lot of a restaurant. She's acting erratically, displaying a surprising strength. Her screams are forceful and intimidating, making the officer hesitate. Realizing the urgency, the cop is compelled to act swiftly to regain control. As the scene intensifies, the onlookers are left shocked, the atmosphere thick with tension.
Thinks she's some kind of witch or something. Something like that. Or superhero or something. People have delusions like that sometimes. See, she's so tough. She tears her knocks her down. And that's really superhero like her.
Another police officer has a haunting story that still lingers in his mind. Back in 2008, he was working the midnight shift in the Manoa Valley area on a quiet night when, around 1 a.m., dispatch sent him to investigate a noise complaint at an old graveyard. It was reported that kids were playing there, which struck him as odd.
The dispatch says that there's a noise complaint there, and that there's a complaint of kids playing around in the graveyard. So,
as he drove into the cemetery, he scanned the area but saw and heard nothing unusual until he noticed some movement near a tombstone. The officer stopped, got out, and shone his flashlight on the spot, but when he reached it, there was nothing there. Just as he was about to leave, he heard a soft humming sound behind him that resembled a child's voice. His heart raced as he spun around and shone the light, but again, he found nothing.
someone is howling my lullaby. I'm getting a little bit scared. Quick, turn around. I shine my light.
Feeling uneasy, he decided it was time to leave. However, as he headed back to his patrol car, the radio suddenly blared to life on its own, playing a song without him touching a thing. Alarmed, he rushed to the car, turned off the radio, and looked around. Still, no one was there. He took a deep breath to calm himself, got back in the car, and buckled up.
Make my way in the park with my seatbelt on. Just as I'm about to enter parking
Just as he was about to drive away, the strange occurrence repeated itself. The song started playing again, despite no one having touched the radio. Frustrated yet curious, he decided to let the song finish. The moment it ended, he sped out of the graveyard as fast as he could.
As soon as it was done, I left the area as quickly as I could.
In May 2018, Sergeant Anthony Menino was on patrol in a Chicago suburb when he found himself in a tense situation. His dash cam caught the moment he spotted a small figure darting between lanes of fast-moving traffic, but the image was not clear enough.
Toddler and the fast-moving oncoming traffic. Before the sergeant arrived, the small child was darting dangerously between lanes with heavy traffic,
At first, Menino thought it was a stray dog, but when he got closer, he realized it was a 2-year-old child. But how sure could he be? Without hesitation, he positioned his car between the toddler and the oncoming cars, risking his own safety to save the boy.
He rushed out of his car, taking risks to rescue the child. Videos like this inevitably raise a crucial and unsettling question.
The child's mother arrived shortly after, visibly shaken, and it turned out the family lived just 2 blocks away. The boy had slipped away unnoticed, and without Menino's quick actions, the outcome could have been much worse.
Where were the child's parents? Thankfully, in this case, the boy's mother arrived a few minutes later, understandably distressed about it.
Yeah, you really
A
got to
police
keep an eye
officer
on
once responded to a welfare check late at night after a neighbor grew concerned about an elderly woman who hadn't been seen for weeks. The caller explained the woman lived alone and had not answered her door or phone for a while, which got them worried.
Suspicion. The woman's car sat unused, covered in a thick layer of dust. The mailbox overflowed with uncollected letters, and the house itself was dark.
The woman's car was covered in dust. Her mailbox was overflowing, and
No,
the
I
house
gotta
was
see if
dark.
we can find something
Fearing
more
the worst,
interesting.
the officer began investigating, knocking loudly on doors.
Australia is a country full of natural wonders, rich culture, and diverse history. However, throughout the years, there have been some discoveries made in Australia that have shocked the world. These discoveries have ranged from ancient artifacts to bizarre creatures and mysterious phenomena, all of which have left scientists and researchers baffled. While some of these discoveries have been explained over time, others remain unexplained and continue to baffle scientists and researchers. Nevertheless, they all serve to remind us of the wonder and beauty of the world we live in and the mysteries that still remain to be uncovered. The Min Lights. The Min Lights are a phenomenon that has puzzled Australians for decades. Named after the small town of Min located in the outback of Queensland, these lights appear as floating orbs that can move at high speeds and change direction quickly. Witnesses describe them as in white, yellow, or red, and some have reported hearing strange noises accompanying.
They like scaring horses. They run between the horses. They go between the horses' feet and dart around their feet. And the horse gets really scared and runs faster and faster, but the horse can't outrun them. They're too fast. They're faster than horses, cars, anything.
Accompanying the lights. Many people have tried to explain the Min lights over the years, but no one has been able to do so definitively.
Everything from gas balls to reflected lights, all that.
Some believe they are the result of swamp gas or other natural phenomena, while others think they are supernatural or extraterrestrial in nature. There have even been reports of people disappearing after encountering the lights, though these claims have never been substantiated. One of the most intriguing things
I seen one when I was really young, but yeah.
about the Min lights is their unpredictability. While they are most frequently seen in the outback of Queensland, they have been reported in other parts of Australia as well. They can appear at any time of day or night and often seem to follow or chase people in vehicles. Some people have even
Tasmanian tiger. Egyptian grease. Yeah, nothing I haven't seen before. Just normal, common, known Australian stuff. Been there for ages. Been there for over 50 years, so nothing rare and exciting about it. Musk has got himself a girlfriend, eh? A robot girlfriend. I might have a look at this one. Probably garbage. Hold on. Is there anything in new to me? Because that's what we're looking for, stuff that's new to me. That's new. I think this is the guy that goes and videos, no, bush. Last digits of your birth. 8,000 a month foreign birthday. The M on your hand. I'll settle on one soon enough. This boy got like that. He was born, and they had a pig that was born, I think, when he was like 3 or 2. And what he did was he picked the pig up. Every day he picked the pig up. And he got muscly and everything because as the pig grew, he grew, but the pig got a lot heavier than him. So as he was picking it up every day, his muscles grew really good. 36 is pretty normal in Australia. Not a heat wave at all. I have to laugh, you know. The news has been saying, oh, Australia's got heat wave conditions. And actually it's the normal heat. December is always hot. Always. So there isn't any heat wave, it's just hot. 35 is not a heat wave in Australia. 40 plus is. Looks like we're just going to have to settle for whatever we can get. Which means I will go back to when I saw up. Yeah, they don't actually say. Let's have a look at this thing. I don't know, maybe it's good, maybe it's not.
Down here, turn around. Very slick.
If you're wondering what's going on, bloody hackers are getting in there. Soon they won't be able to, because soon they won't be on.
Very misty here.
So I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do these anymore.
Looks good, doesn't it? Few more steps here.
People are hacking me again. They're always hacking me. Soon they won't be able to. Soon there won't be any internet, so they won't be able to hack. Whether I'll be able to do these videos anymore, I don't know. Something I got to work on.
Cool.
Nice picture.
If there was a sign.
But there was a fence there, Mum.
Or some kind of post to stop you coming through, I don't know. Look at going. There's even more steps. Wow. I guess we'll keep going down. No little camp over here.
That's how the Aborigines used to live. They'd find a thing like that and they'd camp under it. Usually a bit deeper into the thing. And they'd camp under that. A lot of indigenous people do that. Camped under overhangs.
Yes.
see that? It's a pretty deep overhang. Imagine living your whole life in the middle of the bush under an overhang, just hunting and fishing every day, and that's all you do.
What they gave. I get a little worried on things. Something's gonna jump out. That doesn't sleepwalk anyone's teeth. It's not a bad chance, huh? Okay.
Yeah, it's nicely done. They've got a chair, they've got a fire, they've got a firewood stack.
Table with a bit of wood. Alright. Where'd it go this way? Little kidney too, I'm sorry.
Interesting, but not really what we're looking for. Have a look at that.
A few months ago, a woman named Tanya unfortunately had to put her beloved dog to rest. This was an incredibly emotional event for her, and the entire vibe in her house shifted. Her dog would often play on the bed while she was watching TV, and the thought that she would never see her dog again brought her despair. One evening, when she was getting ready for bed, she noticed something out of the corner of her eye. She didn't think much of the event and continued on with her night.
Oh, come on,
A
really?
few moments later,
Same shit again. Okay, seen it. Gotta be something scary that we haven't seen. Let's have a look at this.
The most disturbing videos on the internet today. Let's dive
This
in.
guy's pretty cool. It's a bear. There's a bear in there. There's a bear in there. I'm so glad we don't have bears in Australia. Well, not like that. We have bears, but there's not like that.
How crazy is this? They almost got Mr. Scribbles. Then he just hawks up. Unbelievable. The dog and dad are the real MVPs of that last video. Please consider hitting that like and subscribe button because we do this every single day, and I'd love to see you tomorrow. The first one on the right kind of resembles, in my opinion, a massive petrified elephant's foot. What could these giant structures be in Russia? Radium. Another
The remains of a man.
energy source of the old world, vilified and left out of our history books in large part. And if you pause to read some of these articles from the past, I think you'll know why it's left out. You want a small lump of fuel which will heat your home for thousands of years. requiring absolutely no attention or replenishing. That was once one of the biggest uses and benefits of radium. That's why all these old world cast iron stoves with no flues, but you can see clear as day radium risen out. It's because they weren't meant to be burned with wood. They were meant to be burned with radium. And you can see many articles and many uses in the past, from fertilizer, everything from cigarettes to the most important part, heating your home. And like that article said, for thousands of years.
Radium's radioactive, isn't it?
They were already using the source. It was just taken away and vilified, much like the Hindenburg false flag. You hear all about the radium drills, but yet they were using it in their butters, for foot warmers for the U.S. mail service. Once the elites, the parasites, figured out just how powerful and unlimited of a source this was, even for health benefits, radium, another energy source.
Don't believe everything you see in this video. This is strictly for entertainment purposes only. Do your own research.
He's required to say that, otherwise he gets banned. But yeah, do what he says.
Now, who is the radium girl?
We have a lot of people to thank for our current working conditions, but probably the most important are the radium girls. At the start of World War I, we started to discover that the pocket watches that had been so common were probably not very practical for soldiers. This led to the creation of the wrist watch. The leather strap held the clock piece in place on a wrist and made it a lot easier so that they weren't falling out of their pockets and breaking. But there was still one problem that the watch didn't solve. The faces were so dark that the soldiers could not see them when it was dark outside, but they didn't want it to be luminous enough that other soldiers from the opposing enemy could see the watches. This leads back to an element popularized by Pierre and Marie Curie back in the 1890s, and it was called radium. Marie Curie even called it the beautiful radium, despite the fact that it burned her skin several times. And Pierre Curie was so scared of it, he never wanted to be near it. Everyone thought that this magical element was super fine and totally okay to be around all the time. Fast forward to about 1917, and now we have women in factories using this paint called undark paint that was made of radium to color these watches. The factories felt that women's tender and delicate hands were perfect for a job like this. They made about 1.5 cents per wash face, which usually led to about $20 a week. This was high.
Which back then was really like lots of pay. Big money.
Rolling in the early 1920s, and more money than any girl ever made doing any job, even a factory job. They had a very interesting technique for painting these watches, though. It was called the lit dip paint technique. This was often taught and practiced at the U.S. Radium, which was the largest contributor of radium in the nation, and their factory in Orange, New Jersey. These young girls, some as young as 11, were really just trying to make money for their families. People called them ghost girls because of the weird glow that they would get on their body and clothes after working with radium all day long. But this didn't frighten people, it actually was kind of a status symbol, and girls would wear their best dresses to work just so they could flaunt their glow later on in dance halls. Eventually, though, they started experiencing strange and severe health issues. The first girl to get sick was Amelia Armoni Magia. She started showing symptoms of a severe toothache in January of 1922. After going to a doctor suggested by the U.S. Radium Company, he told her that she was fine, it was just a toothache, and then eventually she was said,
Yeah, recommended by the Radium Company. Other words, it's on the books and we will say what they tell them to say.
diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. When she went to a dentist to get her teeth looked at, he found a rotting tooth and decided to pull it, and to his horror, when he pulled it, parts of her jaw came out with it and disintegrated into ash. Unfortunately, her fight with radium didn't last very long, and she died in September of 1922. But things just kept getting worse and worse. The girl's mysterious illnesses just kept showing up, and the deformities became more obvious. This eventually led to a lawsuit in 1925, and it took 2 years for them to get a lawyer. And Arthur will talk about that then. We have a lot of people to thank for our current working conditions.
That is disturbing. This all stemmed from glow-in-the-dark wristwatches. I believe they have a movie about radium girls on Netflix. It makes you wonder why they were getting paid so much.
This photo was from 1920.
It's like when you do the job, you get hired to clean out petrol, diesel tanks in the ships and stuff. You get hired to do that, right? And then you get hired to do that, and they pay you big money, $2,000 and $4,000 a week. Why? Because after 2 or 3 weeks, we're dead. So, yeah.
And these women buy the dial that they painted. So a lot of them decided to opt back into the brush. And I know what you're thinking. Well, at that point, it's theirs before the corporation was forced to pay out. Each radium girl ended up getting $177,000 dials. This photo was from 1923, and these women were called the Radium Girls. Now, in the 1920s, these women worked at a factory for a company called the U.S. Radium Corporation. Their job was to mix radium-infused paints and then paint the dials of watch faces and airplane dials. Now, a lot of these watches actually went to the military, because the thing about radium paint is that it glows. So this allowed the soldiers to be able to check what time it was in darker conditions. Think of it as glow-in-the-dark paint, but using radium to get that glow. Not good. Well, in 1923, one of these women falls sick, and slowly, all of her teeth start to fall out, one by one, until eventually she goes to the dentist, and as she's looking around her mouth, her jaw breaks off into his hands. Now, I get it. This sounds like a playground myth, but this was the start of a side effect called radium jaw. The person's jaw would detach from the skull and then fall off. Now, of course, this shocks the other workers, but the company goes, no, it's fine, just go back to work, everything's okay. While these women would paint these dials, they were instructed to lip, dip, paint. The brushes that they used were made from camel fur. And after a few strokes, the brush would naturally start to fan out. So they were instructed to take the brush, put it in their mouth, and sharpen the tip with their tongue. Keep in mind, at the time, the company was telling these women, this was safe. It's all good. There's nothing to worry about. But the issue with radium is that its chemistry closely...
How many companies have done that in the past? Oh yeah, it's safe, don't worry, it's all good. Yeah, then you get killed.
Resembles calcium. So the body would then mistake the radium for calcium and start to pump it into all the bone tissue throughout the body. Calcium strengthens bones, whereas radium completely destroys it. And since these women were sharpening their brushes with their mouths, a lot of that radium got absorbed in their teeth and jaws. Not good. Now, unfortunately, the first woman that fell ill did eventually pass away. In the very next year, 50 women from that factory fell sick, 12 of them passing away. At this point, the women start getting very concerned. But again, the company comes in and says, no, don't worry, it's all completely safe, you'll be fine. All of the coworkers that got sick, not related to this at all. Meanwhile, this is crazy. Nobody from the corporation actually handled the radium paint. And if they did, they would use tongs, masks, and lead screens. Well, the next year, the chief chemist ends up passing away, as well as several other female workers. And at this point, the dentists are the first to speak up. They start saying, a lot of your employees are coming in with awful dental health. Their teeth are falling out, we have to do operations, they've got ulcers, and the worst part, after every operation we do, none of the wounds heal, which then causes further infection, so something's going on here. So at this point, some medical investigations start up, and they start running these women through x-ray machines. But keep in mind, x-ray machines back then only filled these women up with more radiation, worsening their symptoms. It's oh my god, like in hindsight, it's so awful. But amongst some of the medical investigations, one of them was paid off by the company, and the goal here was to try and find something else they could pin all these side effects on, something other than their paint. So the company starts urging all medical staff.
Hold on, people, I have to check something. Something strange has popped up. Cool. Awesome. Alright, keep it up, people. Sorry about that, just had to check that.
to attribute the issues to syphilis. Now, at the time, syphilis was a massive STI going around, and they figured with this being a group of women, they could push this smear campaign, basically putting all the blame on them and saying, look, all these health issues, it's them with syphilis, it's not our pain. It's so brutal. Basically just gaslighting.
So what they're saying is that all the women have been sleeping around and having sex with other guys and stuff, which was a real big no-no back then. That was disgraceful.
Well, a couple years go by and nothing ends up getting done. And all the company does is swaps out the brushes for glass pens. Now, when the women start using these glass pens, with the idea that they're no longer going to start putting the brushes in their mouths, and the pen will work fine. The issue is, as the women started to use these glass pens, they were so much slower. And these women were paid by the dial that they painted. So a lot of them decided to opt back into the brush. And I know what you're thinking. Well, at that point, it's their problem. No, because at this point, nobody knows what's causing these health issues. They don't know it's the paint. They don't know it's what's right in front of them because they're being told it's safe. Now, at this point, the Radium Girls decide to sue. They search all around and they eventually find a lawyer that will take their case. But the entire process was very slow moving. So slow, in fact, that the women continued to get sick. So much so that some of them had to drop out because they couldn't.
Because back then, women were considered as nothing, so nobody was going to race to help them.
Their arm to take the oath in court. Now, after years and years, eventually the Radium Girls ended up winning in court. But of course, the company tried to get it overturned, and they would appeal and appeal and appeal. The Radium Girls ended up winning 8 times in court before the corporation was forced to pay out. Each Radium Girl ended up getting $177,000 that's been converted for today's rates, and then $10,600 annually for the rest of their lives. Plus, all medical and legal bills were paid by the company. Brutal, brutal, brutal. And that is the story of the Radium Girls.
Such a terrible story. Those girls.
Good ending. But still, imagine going through that, eh? You think your life is hard?
Deserve so much better. You shot out the shot and forgot for that video.
You thought they were enjoying something I was watching. We've had those things in our house. I remember those, clocks and that with that dial. Even remember the uranium glass, all that stuff. I remember that. That was around when I was young.
This thing is literally screaming. This was made by an actual Radium Girl. Look at how this thing jumped to 60,000. How?
I wonder what video. Please put in the comments what video made you really like the most. Oh, come on, mate. You're getting boring. Yes, I know it's fascinating, but it's not a thing. It's not something they're here for. We're going to focus on that. Alright, so this one or that one? Might go with spice.
It's fooled just like most of us, man. We get fooled day in and day out by almost everything. We follow mere thin air at times, but we only realize that after it's already too late. I'm not trying to make you feel sorry for us, nor for Eddie, but I'm trying to get you into reality. Eddie, this
Okay, it's still going. Phew, I thought it stopped. It just disappeared from my screen.
poor man, he just bought a new apartment as of recently and quickly discovered it was a bad idea. He lives in Poland, alone with his cat, and decided it was finally time to get his hands on some new fresh place. The apartment he purchased is really neat, clean and modern, but what left him speechless is the fact that its previous occupants sold it even though they hadn't been living in it for long. Despite the state of the apartment itself, it should never fool you like it did Eddie. He began noticing some strange occurrences ever since he moved in. It all began with his cat, because animals are the first signal you can ever get when it comes to haunted places. His cat behavior has changed, as it started
Yeah, I lived in a place like that. If it's cheap, it's probably haunted.
staring at thin air, staring at corners. He noticed that it became much more frequent as time passed, but thought it might just be because his cat was adapting to the new place. But then here come the sounds. He started hearing knocks on his doors. These knocks became more intense, and the loudness of these knocks became more aggressive. In the bathroom, on the entrance door, and so on. Every time he opens these doors, he obviously finds no one behind. At one time, he opened one of the doors that was being knocked on, only for the other door behind him to be played by the ghost. The strange occurrences expanded as some objects began to be displaced out of nowhere, which freaked the man out even more. Just like the chair in his kitchen when he heard it being shifted from its place, things got seriously paranormal for him.
Nie no, generalnie robię sobie obiad, nie? Rzeczy do.
It knocks, he opens the door, it goes to a different part of the house.
Szósta 56. Zero.
I think he needs an exorcist.
I was also one of those who looked at his apartment and thought to myself, I only wish for such a place, clean, modern, and with enough space. Enough space not in the sense of having some spirits and ghosts in. Imagine going into your friend's house, who is married, by the way. In case you haven't found out yet, your best friend, and probably the only real friend you have, is actually married, but he is trying to hide it from you so you don't feel alone in the single state. In all seriousness, imagine you go to visit your friend's house, and then you find yourself stuck dealing with a situation that can only be described as paranormal caused. Mrs. Rez, she is a lady who went to one of her friends' houses, and while sitting in there, her friend's daughter came to them complaining. As she described it, this was at a friend's house. My friend's daughter had come to several of us adults complaining about this specific toy. We blew it off as coincidence or imagination. Poor baby, we were wrong. I have zero explanation for this. I had told the baby girl to rebuke it like you hear me, and she kept saying it wasn't working. This is how the lady described the situation. In the video itself, you will see how the person recording was trying to use some Christian-style speeches in order to expel the ghost out of the toy, but the toy was very responsive in the opposite direction. It kept moving on its own.
Go forward. Your face. Back up.
Yeah. You need to say, by the blood of Jesus, the power of the Holy Spirit, and word of my testimony, I think I rebuke you in the name of Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior. Not just I rebuke you in Jesus' name. That can work too, but I'd pick a toy up and I'd try to make it. Or perform an exorcism.
Why do you ask the daughter to do something in this case? If she is a kid, then just take your own action. If the ghost wants to haunt this specific toy, just throw it out and buy a copy of it and see if these ghosts will still stick around. Another day, another family moving to a new house, and you guessed it right, the place is haunted. Why? Well, maybe it has to do with the garden of that house. Let's see. Melia, a lady who decided it is time to ruin the rest of her life by moving into a new house in France with her 3-year-old daughter. It all started when her little daughter started freaking out and couldn't sleep in her room. The mother thought it might just be that she was having some bad nightmares, and she was actually right. I know this may sound weird if it started with her daughter, but it was just nightmares she was having. Then where's the paranormal in this case? What I meant to say is that those nightmares were actually true, but not when she was asleep. Rather, when she was awake, Melia's daughter was experiencing some real-life level of nightmares. She said to her mother that she was seeing some lady on the ceiling crawling, with her long dark hair and big teeth. The mother didn't take it as real-life events until the strange occurrences began to take place in the house. As the mother started hearing some strange sounds, like in the subsequent videos, sounds of knocks and footsteps, and the footsteps sounded at times like hoofbeats, as she described it. When the mother installed some security cameras around the house, she saw what freaked her out. For example, the teddy bear moving its head, or the drawers slide open on their own. How about that one time when she captured the chandelier swinging? The lights are even flickering inexplicably,
Oh,
despite the light
mate.
switch being turned off. What
Can you do a longer freaking explanation about what's possibly happened, maybe?
actually made her lose it completely is that one time, which will be included on this list, is when she walked into her daughter's room and sighted a shadow figure in the middle of the room.
See the door slowly closing? Okay, something just turned on. Teddy moving. It's falling down, doors opening. Hold on, what was that? Supposed to be shadow figure. Someone kneeling with a shroud over the top of them, or I don't know. You think of anything that's that shape? So it was there. So would it have been kneeling or standing there? But there's this thing here. Interesting. Very curious. Okay, what was there? This window changed shape. I think the light went out inside and was on the outside. Oh, it's the light turning on. That's what it is. I was wondering what it was. It's just the light turning on. The thing I understood on that was make it stop.
I had mentioned something about the garden of the house in the intro because Melhia said that the house has a condemned well in the garden. So that might be playing a part in the story of the haunting of this property.
It's probably a cursed item in my house.
When it comes to the gym, others describe them as ghosts. It's always a topic that people love to get into, thinking that these are two different entities. when in reality, a ghost is just the form of the jinn. In the next video, we have an investigator who loves to get himself into some pain. He decided to investigate a partially constructed house. Some may think that it hasn't been fully constructed yet because the institution or the person who is responsible for the construction work has run out of money, but that's not actually the reason. They said that the upper section of the building has faced repeated disruptions attributed to supernatural forces, which led to them not wanting to finish their job. Obviously, if you go to the owner and tell him this excuse of why you haven't been working on his property, he may either throw you off some building or straight up fire you. But the investigator says it's believed that it's all due to a shadow figure who has been freaking out these workers. So to make sure these rumors are true or not, he decided to put himself in the middle of this situation. It all began with whatever that ladder-like object is called. It started shifting from its place, followed by a stick that was kind of vibrating, hinting at a possible move. The ladder-like thingy was later pushed until it fell down. The man was also hit by a pipe while he was trying to get a glimpse of the wooden stick moving on its own. While in the other room, right in front of him, there could be seen what looks to be a creepy-looking shadow figure walking by the window of that room. Jassy went to the upper floor to investigate what is described as the partially constructed floor. There he captured another apparition of the figure.
और आस-पास से थोड़ी साउंड आ रही होगी शायद काफी दूर प्रोग्राम है माइक मैंने यहाँ पे लगा रखा है तो शॉर्ट में आपको स्टोरी समझा देता हूँ। सबसे पहले दोस्तों आप सबको नमस्कार, सत श्री अकाल, अस्सलाम वालेकुम, राम राम। एक नई वीडियो में स्वागत है। मैंने अभी आपको बोला एक हॉन्टेड हाउस में हूँ, एक हाउस ऑफ जिन में, और सामने ही एक्टिविटी रिकॉर्ड हो गई। ये पीछे मेरे डंडा पड़ा है जो अभी मूव किया था। कौन है यहाँ पर? कौन है?
Look at that. As he walks forward, the ladder thing tips.
अभी पीछे से आवाज आई। उसको बनाने में बड़ी दिक्कत आई थी और जब से ऊपर नया पोर्शन बनाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं तब से यहाँ पर भी ये देखो अभी देखा आपने ऊपर वाले पोर्शन को बनाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं तो वो जिन वो काला साया ये चीज मूव की अभी मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ।
There's a plastic pipe. Couldn't have hurt him that much.
यार ऊपर गिर गया मुझे।
Yeah, mate. I think it's over here. Just a theory.
बच गया यार कैमरे के सामने मुंह गई है दोस्तों मेरे पैर पे लगनी थी अभी।
No, this is annoying me. Explaining it all beforehand sort of takes away the what do you call it? The unexpectedness. You know, you kind of expect it to happen. Hiking encounters. I don't know, people. I'm kind of sorry. 1:30. Don't watch alone. That's usually a good thing. Let's watch because it says don't watch alone. I'm alone and I'm watching. So.
Hey everyone. We can't thank you enough. We're beyond thrilled to share that we've hit 100,000 subscribers.
Come on, people, start subscribing, eh? Get me up to 100,000. I dare you.
Way ahead of April. It's all thanks to this amazing community. As promised, we're excited to announce that our merch website is officially live. And just like we said, you all get 30.
My merch websites are live too. 10% off everything you buy.
30% off with the code CreepyVids30. We hope you love the products we've created for you. Thank you all so much, and let's move on with the video. Venturing into abandoned buildings alone at night can be terrifying. But what happens when you encounter someone or something you'd rather never meet? Tonight, we're diving into the 6 most disturbing abandoned building encounters ever recorded. These clips will make you think twice about ever stepping into abandoned buildings ever again. Let's delve into this first disturbing encounter. This is Chris, the beloved and popular YouTuber you might know from his channel, Urbex Hill. If you've been following us for a while, you've likely seen him featured before. Chris is a true thrill seeker and not easily scared. For over
Man who has been fooled just like most of us, man. We get fooled day in
Stop
and day out
it.
by almost everything. We follow mere thin air at times, but we only realize that after it's already too late.
Sorry, people, I moved. That's what happens when I move. What in the heck is going on here?
Capturing this mother threw her 2-year-old son in the dumpster. And you know what makes this case even more heartbreaking? 11 days before this happened, a stranger called the police to report his mother for beating her children in the middle of the street. This all happened on June 6th when a 23-year-old Deja Smith called police and told them that she was in the park with 3 kids when suddenly her 2-year-old Jacoby Robinson Jr. disappeared.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. How you guys doing? If you guys are brand new to the channel, you guys don't know what we do, don't worry, I'm gonna break it down for you guys, man. We talk about the most scariest and creepiest videos on the net, on the web, from YouTube videos, TikTok videos, IG reels, Facebook, anything weird, usual, and unexplained, you can find right here on this channel. Just want to thank all my supporters, man, who's coming back to the channel each and every single day, watching the videos entirely, man. Comment down below, and most importantly, hit that thumbs up button on each and every single video drop. You guys are helpful in the community. I appreciate the support. Find this video for you guys today. Let's do what we do best, you guys.
Love the background. It's so cool.
Stay with me, y'all. Let's seek the truth.
Most unusual places in the world. Located in Quebec, Canada, this forest has a pretty creepy atmosphere. It might be because the ground looks like it's moving, making it seem like Mother Earth is taking a deep breath. But this next one is actually terrifying. Located in Penang, Malaysia, this huge water tornado was getting extremely close to this apartment building. Fortunately, it stopped right in front of the building because it ran out of water. And how about this one? It used to be a hiking area before it got flooded. So everything you see here used to be above water. Imagine being a fish and seeing this appear out of nowhere.
The strangest places in the world. Part 1. Firstly, on top of a hill in Pennsylvania, some stones can be found that shouldn't actually be there because there's no nearby hydro rain where they could have originated. These are called the ringing rocks because whenever something hits these stones, they make a strange ringing noise. Next is the petrifying well in England, where water flows from a rock and turns whatever it touches into stone. As you can see, people often leave items like hats, teddy bears, or even bicycles, which appear to have already been turned into stone. Some people believe there's a mystical power, but the scientific reason behind this is the unusually high mineral content in the water, which forms a hard mineral shell on any object it comes into contact with. And within a few months, everything essentially becomes a stone statue. Crazy things happening in the world right now. An elderly Romanian woman was using this amber nugget worth $1 million as a doorstop for decades.
That's not unusual. A while ago, well, years ago, this guy was walking in his yard or walking somewhere. I think he might have been a farmer, walking around his property. He found a rock that was really heavy. He had a door that kept closing, so he put the rock in front of the door as a doorstop to stop the door from closing. Now, this is a really poor person. This is a person who works his butt off daily and is really struggling. And one day, someone went into his house. I don't know if he died or got sick or something. They noticed that the rock was heavier than it should be. It was a solid gold nugget. It was worth millions. And this guy is being poor all the time. I see that all the time. I see people throw out stuff that like antiques and stuff. They just throw in the bin, and they're worth heaps. I mean, mental.
John Bon Jovi convinced a woman to not jump off a bridge in Nashville. Someone felt that a Louis Vuitton staff member was being rude to them, so they made them count $110,000 in cash over 2 hours, then left without buying anything. This billionaire was caught stealing sand from a public beach. Chuck E. Cheese is now launching a monthly subscription program. An apartment
Hold on, stealing sand from a public beach? Nobody owns the beach. Nobody owns the water. How can you steal?
billed this woman $15,000 for breaking her lease a year early because she died. Another survey shows that.
What are you gonna do? Send her bills all the time and increase her what she has to pay? I mean, I'd like to see you collect on that. Well, collect on the relatives, I guess.
Dramatically losing interest in school and hear about college too much. A Lamborghini and a Harley were seized from an unemployed man with unexplained wealth who was later found to be taking advantage of unemployment benefits. The cucumber trend has been blamed for a massive hit to Iceland's cucumber supply. This woman was in agony when she...
Cucumber trend? What cucumber trend? Something I don't know anything about.
She was allergic to her own period.
How is that even possible?
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
That last one, man. My brain for I guess her body can't handle it. Hormones or something like that. And that lady using that movie as a doorstop for over a decade that's worth $1 million. Imagine you had $1 million, man. Like just lying at your feet for a whole decade. You didn't even know.
Currently going insane over this viral video. The video shows a balloon randomly going down the street with no wind and no one there. It also happens to be at 3 a.m. I mean, check this out. They always say there's a lot of lost souls in LA. My question to you guys is, could it be a lost soul?
What do you think? But I was just a random balloon just floating on the street. I thought Vegas was supposed to be the city of the lost souls. And that's Los Angeles too. That wouldn't surprise me. You know,
things humans were never meant to see. This is why you don't run into random caves or spaces. Just because it's open to air doesn't mean you can breathe in there.
The old carbon dioxide thing.
Floods caused by heavy rain in Veneto, Italy.
Trap.
Is that a duck or a dog? Oh, like a pigeon. There's no pigeons can scream.
Here's the necessary bathing method for sheep to eliminate parasites.
Push it down.
Scientists found weird new marine species off New Zealand coast.
So, the first picture of Jaguar's major shock rebranding have leaked, and they weren't kidding when they said a change was coming. Now, the new pictures show a bright pink and blue electric vehicle that has an extremely minimalistic design. It has an oval-shaped steering wheel, a wide front Rolls-Royce-looking grille, and no rear window. Well, they're using cameras instead. And as promised, the iconic Jaguar emblem and hood ornament has been replaced. It's now just a gold plate near the front left of the wheel, and the word Jaguar just on the front of the grille. The question is, what do you think of the new concept? Has Jaguar just saved or destroyed the company?
Moments after this video
I like the old design better. My personal opinion.
was captured, this mother threw her 2-year-old son in the dumpster. And you know what makes this case even more heartbreaking? 11 days before this happened, a stranger called the police to report his mother for beating her children in the middle of the street. This all happened on June 6th when 23-year-old Deja Smith called the police and told them that she was at the park with 3 kids when suddenly her 2-year-old Jacoby Robinson Jr. disappeared. Police first believed that someone took Jacoby, but after hours of searching, they finally found his body inside a dumpster in the same apartment complex that the family lived in. Investigators began looking through the surveillance footage in the apartment, and they noticed Deja walking towards the dumpster on that day, and she has her newborn attached to her on her chest and her 2 other children in the stroller. But in this video, you see one child moving around, and the other child who's in the bag isn't moving, and police believe that Jacoby was already deceased at this point. In this point of view, you can't see what's going on, but you can hear the dumpster close, and then Deja walked back with only 2 children. Now, this isn't the first time Deja has been accused of hurting her children. In 2022, she had her kids taken away for neglect, but she eventually regained custody of them 2 months before she took Jacoby's life. And just so you know, she also has 2 older children who were also taken away from her. But what makes this case so much more infuriating is that only 7 weeks after regaining custody of the little ones, a stranger saw her beating them in the middle of the street. And keep in mind, these little boys are only 2 years and under. The woman who happened to see the being called police, and when police arrived, they found that there was no signs of abuse, so then they just left. Photos of the children were later taken, and it shows scratches and bruises all over their bodies. Deja and Jacoby's father were both charged with murder, and it turns out that Deja is now pregnant with her 6th child in prison.
Noble-looking photos that have a disturbing backstory. These pieces of yarn in a first-grade classroom are the trajectories of the bullets fired by the Sandy Hook shooter in 2012, who killed 20 children and 6 adults. The reason that the angles are pointing downward is quite disturbing when you think about it. Dutch teenager Gary Slock and his mother Petra posted this photo to Facebook moments before their plane was shot down by Russians, killing all 298 people aboard. At first glance, it looks like this woman is resting peacefully, until you notice that that's a car roof twisted around her like bed sheets. She jumped from the top of the Empire State Building and happened to land in this very graceful, peaceful way. This is the last photo ever taken of 18-year-old Joby Kaplan, who after this photo was taken, was shot twice in the head and pushed off of the cliff by her ex-boyfriend. While this may seem like a normal family photo, just below the wife is a rattlesnake about to strike her arm. She was bitten and survived, but the dog died. This photo shows a man and a woman on the 70s game show, The Dating Game. The man in this photo who won the date with the woman is Rodney Alcala, a famous serial killer. Cheryl Bradshaw, the woman, found him extremely creepy and after the camera stopped rolling, refused to go on a date with him, possibly saving her life. Understand, it's a generational Hall of Fame levels of destruction, violence, and straight up hating this line to get its name. You might know him. This is the Tuatumela, which is Swahili for he who breathes with fire. He sure did. He ran a fight with his brother in Sebuti, Botswana, and even though he was smaller, he stood on business. It was like a honey badger in a lion's body. Really think about what that means. Researchers watched him press a whole raging bull elephant at a watering hole. There's also that time he stared down literal death. Black death, that is. That's their nickname. Magical Fossil is the NBA Youngboy. That's the time he was on. But Tuatumela's defining personality trait, he hated hyenas with generational prejudice. He would reach with fire with bullets to any hyena's front door with smoke. It was literally on sight. He even go out of his way to find a hyena leader and erase the matriarch in front of the whole hood. Actually did it so often, he single-handedly dissolved the hyena clans around him. He'd also pick up small kill fighters like hyena cubs. Imagine being a walking population control. It's estimated that he dropped nearly 40 hyenas in his life. I say estimated because that's just what they saw. It's definitely higher. The thing is, lions already have no love for a walking lab track. It's just that it's
Wow, man, that's pretty amazing. That's a lion that really wanted to rule that area.
Guatemala took it 10 steps further. Like, if his pride was around hyenas or they heard them, they'd be annoyed, but they wouldn't waste the energy chasing around something in 100-degree weather that they're not going to eat it yet. I'll let the walking hyena hate crime here a stinker, and best believe he'll divide them like one. This line lived a life fueled by pure spite and hostility, and that quantity of hatred has to be studied. Also, the way he passed sentences doesn't fit my narrative, so I'm disregard that the more you don't know.
Scopophobia is the excessive fear of being stared at, and it's sometimes referred to as the phobia or feeling that someone is watching you. I'm now going to show you a series of increasingly unsettling photos that can scare you. You might have scopophobia.
No effect for me. What about you? Do you get scared and you see those images?
I'm good. I don't think I had that fear. I don't know how you pronounce it again, but fear of somebody staring at you. I'm pretty good with that. I just get annoyed. I don't get scared when people stare at me. I just be annoyed. I'm like, what do you want, man?
Turn around and you say, take a picture, it'll last longer.
So yeah, I'm good on that one. I think I passed that with flying colors, bro. We know what this is.
Here's some tips that could save your life that you're actually likely to use. If you're ever outside and your hair standing straight up, you're about to be struck by lightning. So what you have to do is crouch into this position and brace yourself. If your house ever randomly smells like fish, 9 out of 10 times it's an electrical fire. If you're ever in a foreign
Fish? I don't think it smells like fish. I think it smells like, it's hard to describe. If you've ever smelled electric burning, you know the smell.
don't know the emergency number, dial 112. It's the universal number for emergency. If a tornado looks like it's not moving, it's actually moving towards you. If there's ever a gas leak in your house, don't turn on the lights. A spark from the light switch will blow up your entire house. Here.
Gas expands 32 square meters, 1 ounce of gas. Minuscule drop of gas expands so much. So one spark in your house, outside your house, anywhere like that can blow your whole place to bits. That's why I don't believe in gas in caravans.
Crashing elevator, lie down flat, evenly distribute your weight. If you happen to fall into a subway track, look for the little crawl space and hide in there. If there's a deer on the road, you have a better chance of surviving if you drive into it. But if it's a moose, drive into a ditch. Even if you have no service, you can still call 911. Share this video with a loved one to keep them safe.
I remember when I went to 911. Didn't need service.
Interesting people you've never heard of. Darius was arrested 32 times for commandeering buses and trains and pretending to be the driver when he wasn't. Dalton Getty is a man who's been making pencil-tip artwork for over 25 years. Philippe Kahn is the man who invented the camera phone back in 1997. This underachieving Princeton student in the 1970s wrote a paper on how to build a nuclear bomb. He received an A, but he never got his paper back because it was seized by the FBI. Patrick Acton made a complete model of Hogwarts with only 600,000 matchsticks and 60 liters of glue. A man named Dalton sued bank
Cool, that's an effort.
of America for $1,784 billion because he was unhappy with their service. Kevin invented a micronation in the state of Nevada that's called Velocity. It consists entirely of his house, front yard, and backyard. This Argentinian engineer in the 1930s created a rain machine, made it rain in multiple places at once, and then disappeared without a trace.
Lots of people who've done those sort of things have disappeared. The government doesn't want that stuff getting out.
That's interesting, man. We got a whole rain machines, weather manipulating. So that's not completely out the realm of possibility. These clips, we learn it.
There's quite a few, actually. There's one's like a cannon that fires up into the air and just makes a big bang and rattles everything that ranks. And there's various other ones.
He had also been a family friend since the 1990s. November 20th of 2022, Leonard was so busy there was documented grabbing the towels to try to clean up and something grabbed her hospital around and started her body around. He held her ankle and pushed her back and forth small like a cheese. The whole incident was actually
Maybe it's very quiet, eh? Sorry if it's so quiet you can't hear it. It's really quiet. Maybe it's time to go and see something else. Let's see if there's something else for you. It's almost time, people. Well, I've seen one like that. The person didn't fall off the cliff, but she slid down the cliff. Maybe they just didn't show us that part. Let's see if that one's got anything with it.
In a remote park in Louisiana, a TikTok user named Briscoe Park had an
We're getting close to time. So.
Unsettling experience while taking pictures in the wilderness. Suddenly, he heard the sound of church bells ringing.
I remember someone doing an investigation around a place and that happening, and they followed it, went to there's like a church there somewhere. It's abandoned or something. It's actually part of a village that's like 20, 30 meters or so away.
The strange part? There was no church in sight, nor any buildings for miles.
Yeah, you can't. You have to go out of the swamp and down the road.
Checked Google Maps to confirm, and sure enough, no structures were nearby.
No recorded structures.
Meet Haley, a daring YouTuber known for her channel, The Abandoned Camper. True to her channel's name, Haley ventures into some of the most remote and often eerie locations to camp alone. Sometimes in stealth campsites, other times in her trusty tent or hammock. On July 15th, 2022,
Haley is heading out on what should be a peaceful solo trip in the wilderness. It's a warm, sunny day as she hikes through dense woods, breathing in the calm of nature.
It's actually one I haven't seen. So.
After about an hour of trekking, she discovers a beautiful spot that feels just right for spending the night. Looks like a good spot for where I am, she muses. I might just sleep on the ground again tonight. I brought a hammock, but I don't see any spots good enough for a trip. As the sun dips below the trees, casting long shadows, Haley decides to explore a bit more.
She got a really nice face.
She knows there is an abandoned cemetery about a 15-minute walk away and, intrigued, decides to check it out before night fully sets in. But just as she makes her way back along the trail, loud taunting screams break through the forest air.
This is an active cemetery, but there is a part of it that is abandoned. Those dogs are barking at me. I'm probably the only one that's here at this time.
Hold on. Dogs are barking at her. She came around the corner. Animals came out of the bush. Or was that a completely different one and I messed up?
So if you can't tell, it's pretty dark here right now. But there are kids here, like young kids, in the cemetery. And I'm wondering how active this place actually is. Do people come here at night and kind of party in the forest or something? Anyways, I'm heading back to my spot. So I think I'll finish my exploring tomorrow morning. Because there seems to be still a lot of stuff. See? I think they know I'm here. That's not good.
That's just birds.
The boys are deliberately trying to scare her, making her feel even more on edge. Not wanting them to see her, Haley stands still, switching off her light and hoping to remain unnoticed.
Keep this recording. Just in case. But I'm also going to stop.
I thought it was animals, but I think that was Metasanchi's one. Not sure.
And find out what they're doing, if they're actually watching me or not.
But as she stands in the shadows, she realizes something chilling. The boys seem to be actively scanning the area, as if they're determined to track her down. Deciding it's best to pick up her pace, Haley quickly heads back to her campsite, trying to put as much distance as possible between her and the boys. She reaches her camp and with relief begins to set up a small fire, hoping the warmth and light will make her feel secure again. As she prepares her meal, the familiar calm of the forest seems to settle around her. But this moment of peace is shattered all too soon. Disappointed, she gathers her gear, her safety taking priority. As she walks away from the campsite, she can't shake the feeling that her gut was right.
I just had to put out the fire because there are people walking around back here. They don't have headlamps on, but like I said in my last video, I do not like being around people in the middle of the forest, especially when it's dark out. So I might pack up and get out of here.
I would.
There's still people here. I can barely hear their voices, but they're like way off in the distance. Okay, I'm packed up. I'm ready to go.
Something wasn't safe here tonight. She takes one last look back at the dark, silent forest, vowing to trust her instincts. With that, Haley leaves the forest behind. What do you think? Was it simply a harmless encounter, or were they really searching for her? Luckily, we didn't have to find out. Luckily, Haley was aware of her surroundings. But what if you aren't? Later, you might realize that someone had been lurking around your campsite the entire time. While exploring an abandoned area, Frankel stumbles upon a strange sight.
It remains here, right here, all the way down the mountain. A shape of a cross, but made out of human remain. You can see how it looked like.
Are they human? Or are they just animal bones?
A cross at one point had somebody's shirt. That's deceased. There's a whole bunch of hair. Oh, that's a jaw. Is a pelt.
Jawbone looks like human.
But there's also a dreadlock of hair. Oh, this is disturbing. I don't even know what I'm looking at. So that means what I am looking at is hair. I'm not sure if that's the back. That looks like a spinal cord. This is the back. It's someone's hand. It has like a weird.
The flat top of the head.
Elongated.
A burial site filled with bones, pelvises, skulls, and even a spinal cord. Later, he even finds a cross made from human remains. There is what looks like a shape of a cross but made out of human bones. Franco is amazed and unsettled by the sheer number of remains scattered across the mountain. He keeps exploring the area only to find more remains. Z Fishing TV set out for a peaceful camping day at a secluded lake, planning to enjoy some quiet fishing. While moving across the lake, he noticed something unusual floating in the water. At first, he was startled and uncertain about what it could be. As he got closer, he realized what it actually was. It was a body. He quickly called 911 to report this terrifying discovery. What started as a typical fishing day turned into a nightmare. A group of hikers was navigating a narrow, dangerous trail when one of them suddenly lost his balance. Pay attention to the hiker in the light green t-shirt.
Bye-bye.
Though he was injured, he was fortunate to survive. The terror on this man's face captures just how harrowing the experience must have been for everyone involved, especially knowing they still had to finish their hike. YouTubers Mackie and Amanda delve into the eerie Hotel Figueroa, capturing unsettling moments in their video.
And that's part of why it freaked me. What the f was that? I don't know. That sounded like it was right in front of us. Can you step away from that device? Oh, there it goes again. Wait. Try down. I hear that. Actually. One. Oh. Spanish. Who made that loud noise in Mackie's headphones? What were you hosting? Oh wait, sorry, they're a little long. Did you do piano music? So you didn't actually know Amanda in high school?
Mackie remarks, "I don't know what is breathing in this room with us, but I'm sure it's not meant to be here." Given the hotel's notorious reputation, he wouldn't be surprised if it was something sinister. Three friends using the Ranonautic app stumbled upon a horrifying discovery at West Seattle Beach. Initially dismissing a suitcase they found, a terrible smell upon opening it prompted them to call the police.
The original Ranonautica video. These people were walking around doing Ranonautica. They found a bag. In the bag, they found a body. And the body was there because the person didn't pay the rent or something. in this place, so they chopped them up and put them in this bag and threw them out. I mean, real respect for people. Come on.
Suitcase, and we're gonna get it. Okay, so they're like opening it up with the sticks because we don't want to. Here, oh my God. Yes, there's a bag. There's a bag, like my bag. Oh, it is a bag. Oh my God. And it's like it washed up.
Didn't want to go back there.
So we called the police twice. It's been 2 hours in the water. It's like rising. It's like closing.
The suitcase contained the remains of Jessica Lewis and Austin Wenner, murdered by their landlord, Michael Lee Dudley, over unpaid rent and criminal activities. Dudley's actions led to a life sentence, but the friends remain haunted by their discovery. While hiking, a woman found something unusual hanging from a tree, leaving viewers puzzled.
What is that? Can you make it out?
The mysterious object remains unidentified, adding to the wilderness.
It's kind of like a person, but not really.
This is eerie atmosphere. Paranormal investigators, including YouTuber Franco TV, have experienced the Stanley Hotel's ghostly presence.
Ah, the Stanley Hotel. Where that movie was filmed. It was filmed there, but in the actual movie, it was there were like 2 locations.
Franco's stay quickly reveals the hotel's haunted reputation.
I just heard something.
I can't.
Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Seance.
Seance. I got the door open.
Hello?
Is it me you're looking for?
Someone's in here.
This door literally just moved. The thing is, I have a night vision camera right
You see the stuff happening behind the door?
on the other side. Watch.
Hold on, I'll show you. What romance? Now watch this crack here. You see something go across there and back.
Literally just
See something just came in there.
moved.
And then went out. And then came back.
Things that
Something just passed by again.
vision
And
camera.
again. Something behind the door passing
on the
by. Something
There's
there.
Like what?
Is that a person?
This door literally we just
Is that a person?
smoke. Things that happen. Maybe we should drink and run it on the other side. What?
What is happening?
You tell me.
I think he believes he's alone.
What is here with me? Or who is here with me?
Can't see her. You can't see him, you know.
Sound like you said the captain. That is the gentleman that haunts this floor. Mr. Dumbraven. You look right here. So right there. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the candle. I just had a door closed on me.
I want to know more about the captain and his unfinished business. In 2009, a group of Oklahoma teenagers recorded their camping adventure, capturing a strange, tall, gray figure moving through the trees.
You're putting it right there in that corner.
Right in the center. See that?
Hey, hold on for a second. Tell us all when you are.
Saw this the other day.
Okay, you ready?
Is he gonna let the couch on fire?
No, it shoots up.
Yeah, put me in my phone's almost dead. Yeah.
Oh, it's hot, perfect. We'll plan in publicity overnight. It'll take a minute. They'll start.
Bart and I go out eating Jack's have burritos we need to cook. Go up. No.
Right behind that log there, over on the sort of right-hand side, there's a guy hiding behind the log, looking at them, seeing what they're doing. He stands up and walks off to the left. It's not a tall, grey figure.
Don't you dare do that. Shut. Let's see that. Sure with that. It's not very right.
About to stand up.
Stop leaking out, boy. Yeah. Shut.
There. That is not a ghost or anything. That's a person in a white shirt, black pants. He was hiding behind the log, watching the kids.
Jenny. Yeah, they're caught up to reach out to water. They can't wait to have water, isn't it? It's not problem. Let's go. Got the things? Up there, has it? No. Except, you guys throw anything else in there? Watch. Sam. Hold on. Before I do it. Hey, did you guys throw anything else in there? All right, there it goes. Here we go. Come on, let's just break this here. Come on. Did you fucking split her? Oh, yeah!
No, I didn't see that part. But I originally thought the person came from behind the log there and walked around to the left. Actually, he came from behind the log there and walked away altogether.
In the background of their footage,
I'm saying he because it looks like a guy. Could be a girl, but it looks like a guy. And it's not a ghost or anything. It's not anything that they're saying.
a strange, tall, gray figure can be seen silently moving away through the trees. At the time, they didn't notice anything unusual, too engrossed in their fun. It wasn't until they reviewed the footage back at home that the boys realized what they had captured. It looked like a person, but everyone was standing behind the cameraman, so it couldn't have been one of their friends.
No, it was someone watching them. Maybe they're on private property, maybe it was one of their dads, maybe something like that, but it was someone watching them that they didn't know was there.
It remains a mystery what they captured on that camera. Kaylee, an Airbnb owner, faced strange guestbook entries about her 1700s colonial house's creepy atmosphere and attic noises. Staying there to investigate, she recorded unsettling sounds and received motion detection alerts from the attic's disappointment room.
So I'm in my dining room right now. I'm just
Disappointment room? What the hell's a disappointment room?
organizing some Christmas stuff. Don't judge me. I'm home alone, of course, because my husband left to run literally one errand that's going to take like 20 minutes. And I swear I'm hearing, like, I don't know, some sort of noise coming from upstairs in the Airbnb. No, we don't have guests up there right now. And even Susanna's chilling here with me, and she's been like looking up at the ceiling too, confirming that I'm not crazy. And I swear it's coming from my husband's office, because this room is notorious for hearing stuff above the ceiling. Oh my god. Absolutely not. Did you guys hear that?
Can be someone staying there for free. Can be possums. It can be a lot of things, but a house that old, I mean, it's probably been people died there and all that.
And of course, now I'm up here, I don't hear anything, but I know I'm not crazy because, like I said, Susanna was looking around too. Okay.
Ah, there it goes.
And sometimes people have asked me, do you ever feel like someone's watching you or someone's up there with you? Yes. Sometimes I feel like there's literally someone following me,
House that old, you're gonna have that.
which I know sounds crazy, but it's not.
Just keep telling yourself it's the house settling.
We're just gonna finish the loop and then we're gonna run back downstairs. Okay. I think it's hopefully fine. Just gonna.
That door needs some oil. We used to live in a house where that happened all the time. Doors would be opening and closing all the time. And we'd just say, oh, it's just the ghost coming in, going out, you know. Sometimes it would even be like, are you coming or going? Yeah, look at that door. That's pretty scary. 3 locks and a thing to hold the door open. Careful, lady, you might get trapped in there. Next thing the door shuts and locks and she can't get out until her husband comes home. Why is there a blanket there? She let people stay out there too. Is it possible someone's been creeping in that window and using that bedding? Oh, she's got automatic doors. Oh, they didn't lock the door. I guess that's why she left the little thing out, so she knows that the door shuts, it can't shut all the way.
This 1700s colonial house is believed to be haunted, possibly by something connected to the disappointment room. Kaylee is delving deep into the history to uncover what events may have transpired in the house over the years. Until then, this remains a mystery. In a chilling night, YouTuber Angelo explores a haunted forest, fleeing after an unsettling encounter.
We're actually back at the Satanic Cult Forest. We were here, I want to say about 2 weeks ago, roughly, maybe not even. But when we were here, we actually discovered something, proof that there is some sort of cult coming through here. A lot of locals, like I've explained before, have been telling us stories of seeing weird people coming in and out of the woods here late at night, sometimes even during the day. Well, we changed the battery. I don't know how that battery died that fast. That was odd. It seemed to be getting
Ghost drain your batteries.
battery drain from something, which, to be honest, doesn't happen very often with this particular camera. Just went for a second, I just saw something move. Happens a lot here.
But almost like
I think I've seen this one or one similar to it.
shadow figure type of things. I don't know what the hell is lurking in here, but I think there's some evil shit. Alright, so when you're doing this alone, sometimes it does take a little bit longer. Sometimes
Very bad, man.
not, sometimes it does. It's usually easier with two people, but unfortunately we ain't got two people. And even if I invited Brad, he probably wouldn't do this with me. There's no freaking way. It's called a Ouija board. Should something move outside the tent? Is there somebody outside the tent? Yes or no?
No.
Oh. Why is it keyword 0? It also sounds like something just walked up to the front of the tent. There's something up there.
Blank.
He's got the spirit talker on in the fireball.
Okay, I'm gonna end the session for a second, okay? I'm closing off the session.
Yeah.
I don't see anything. That was weird. It literally walked as it walked. It literally sounded.
Stacy.
What the was that?
It's Stacy coughing on you.
No. That's. I don't know what the hell that was. Communication chain with you again.
Fitness to read.
Oh. Okay, what is that? What keeps doing that? I'm telling you right now, something is out here.
Zachary.
Is there somebody outside this tent right now? Sounded like something was moving out there. Am I gonna see something if I open this door? Is it gonna show itself to me? Yeah. That was that sound.
No, it's not spirit talker. It's necromancer.
Sound again.
Necrocomic thing.
What the fuck?
It's oh my gosh, it's one.
What was that? Shaking right now. Oh. There's nothing here. Nothing here, no one here. Okay, I'm gonna pack up this tent real quick and get the f out of here. Crap. I'm telling you, dude, the sounds we were hearing tonight, unbelievable. I don't know what the hell that was. I don't think I've ever caught anything like that on camera.
Again, you go looking for it, you find it, and then you run. Why don't you stop?
Before? almost in the clear. Oh, I'm panicking. Oh, I'm almost panicking. Oh, man. Do not use the Ouija board here.
Don't ever use a Ouija board at all.
Oh, that was a really bad idea. Okay. I just heard something. Something made a sound in my ear.
Run, damn it, run!
What the was that? Nope. Let's just go. There's the exit. Holy crap.
He hastily packs up and bolts from the forest, racing to the safety of his car. Whatever lurked out there, Angelo is relieved he never found out. What do you think was stalking
You realise the car is a perfect place to camp? A perfect thing to sleep in? Why? It has much more protection than a tent. You start the motor, it can keep you warm on cold nights. You've got light so you can see if there's people around you. And if it's really scary, you can just drive away. You've got an escape route, so the car is a really good thing. If you want to generate power, all you need to do is turn the motor on. Because the motor turns the alternator, which is like a generator, then charges the battery. So you can put a inverter on the battery. I don't recommend it on your main battery, maybe on the second battery. And run your whole camp on 240 volt AC, not DC.
that night? Was it an animal, a restless spirit, or something far more sinister? Let me know in the comments below. The Land Hotel Saloon, explored by the Paranormal Voyages team, reveals its eerie nature. The spirits oblige their request to move a hangar, and the team captures unsettling noises and paranormal readings.
Can you move any of them? Want them?
Okay, people, well, I think that's time, so catch you tomorrow. God! Catch you tomorrow, or